And we have before us Mr. Robinson. Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell us, introduce yourself for the record? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is Michael Robinson, DOC 351070.
Yes, that's what I have, sir. All right, for the record, let me just say that you are classified as a third offender, currently serving a 20-year, 4-month, 25-day sentence for attempted second-degree murder. You, Mr. Robinson, met before the parole panel in June of this year. You were granted parole
Yes,
with
ma'am.
the requirement that you complete a 9 months transitional work program. Your that decision was rescinded. You were transferred to that work program in July of 2023. The decision was rescinded because you refused your medications and are demanding to see a mental health specialist. Can you explain that to us, sir?
I refused to pay for the medication, which is stomach medication. I didn't need to have it. But you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I refused because I didn't want to, pay for something that I could get over the counter.
Says you were evaluated by medical and demanding to see a mental health specialist. He didn't come with the psych medication and now is refusing to take any of his other medication because he does not want to pay for them. So are you prescribed mental health medication?
Yeah, I got that. They just sent that to me. I'm taking that. But I didn't want to pay for no Parole or, that's all I was getting for a stomach Parole and, because I had ulcers. And I didn't want to pay for that when I didn't need it anymore. But I can get my mental health medication. They just sent it. They sent it from DCI.
So why are we here today?
I don't know. They sent it. They didn't want to try to give me a job because.
Well, because of your attitude, I believe. I think that's what it's about. Is there anybody in the room with you?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's why I'm confused.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you, sir, to introduce yourself.
I'm Lieutenant Brandon Jordan, Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office.
All right, Lieutenant, is there anything you can tell us about Mr. Robinson?
He's on, a lot of medication, and that's a high expense for work release inmates, with mental health and all that stuff. I believe he has sickle cell and a couple other things, and he's had multiple heat strokes in the past.
Right. So it's kind of interesting that he even got cleared for work release.
Right. And, he's a good guy. I got nothing against him. He's volunteered to do work around here and all that. It's just all of our jobs are outside in the heat. Right. And, manual labor jobs. And if there's another work release that he can go to, by all means, we're more than willing to let him go somewhere else because he's still enrolled in our work release. We're just housing him.
Right.
Just with his health conditions, we didn't feel comfortable putting him out there where he can, get in the heat, having multiple heat strokes. You're more susceptible to have another heat stroke.
Yeah.
And didn't want to be in that kind of danger.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, well, we appreciate your input. I'd like to ask for an executive session to discuss confidential matters.
I make the motion.
We have a motion, I second a second, and without opposition. Mr. Robinson will be in executive session for a moment to discuss confidential matters, so we'll be right back. All right, Mr. Robinson, I don't know what to do with you. I guess there were the medical issues that we probably were not aware of when we recommended the work release program for you. What was your job when you were at DCI? What did you do there?
I worked for the city of Baton Rouge. That was the whole agreement that,
Public Works Department?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do for them?
Well, I used to work the zero turn and weed eat. That's why I don't understand.
You worked outside?
Yes, ma'am. And they was promising me a job.
Who Baton Rouge was?
Yes, ma'am.
So So when I look at your risk assessment, you have a high risk assessment when it comes to substance abuse. That's why you're back in jail, right?
No, ma'am. I don't
You
do
got
drugs.
revoked. Why did you get revoked before?
Oh, because of DWI.
Yeah, that's a substance abuse issue,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
What programs did you take during this period of incarceration to address your substance abuse issues?
I took living in balance and everything that was required dealing with substance abuse and anger management.
Did you get out of substance abuse program?
Well, I never got a chance to get in. I don't have no desire to drink anymore, but I never get a chance to get in AANA. So that was the agreement too for me to do AANA 3 times a week.
I did see that.
Yeah, that's what to do. AANA 3 times a week. That's what I have a curfew from 6 to 9 o'clock, and that's supposed to be monitored.
So, what is your situation with the Public Works Department now?
And Baton Rouge.
Lost track of that?
Yeah, but yeah, because they was trying to figure out what was going on with me because they was looking for me to be wherever I was supposed to be in Baton Rouge, they was going to try to send me, you know what I'm saying, to go to my job. They was looking for me.
Where were you going to be in Baton Rouge?
Well, that's the whole idea because they didn't want me driving from Winsboro 3 hours.
Now, where were your residents going to be in Baton Rouge?
That's I was supposed to be in a transitional house.
Where?
They said something like the O'Brien house or something. I don't know anything about
Who said that? Who said that?
Well, they didn't say the O'Brien. They just said they was going to transition me, so that I would.
Who told you that?
Well, the board agreed. They didn't want me to drive 3 hours from Winsboro and 3 hours back from Winsboro to Baton Rouge. So they was, asked me, did I ever heard of a transitional program or a house? I never heard of it. So I agreed. And it was like the agreement was for me to transition to Baton Rouge so I could be able to get up, until I get up.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do because the board doesn't arrange for those transitional programs. That's the Department of Corrections that does that. I think the reference was made to transitional work program, which is why you ended up where you're at, because that's what the workplace program is called. So my vote today is going to be to deny your parole. I'm going to request that you go back to DCI and work with them on a reasonable transition plan. Housing, you need a residence plan that can be approved by probation and parole. I'm willing to remove the work release requirement if you have a suitable residence plan in Baton Rouge. That's my vote. Mr. Rocha.
My vote is the same for the same reason.
Mrs. Wise.
My vote is the same for the same reason.
All right, you got some work to do and planning to do, Mr. Robinson. And as soon as you're eligible and you get all that worked out, reapply and you'll have a different outcome. Good luck to you, sir. That concludes our business in Rapides. Thanks for helping us out today. We're going to sign off. It's 10:32.